What's up, Fearless Nation? Watching Married at First Sight. Little late on it, the show was last week, but I thought now it's getting really, this is the part I wanted to see. You see people's true personalities coming out even more. You see Bao and Johnny, they're eating together, and Johnny says he's going to go home for a while, and clear his head. And Bao says she was cool with that. He's just not happy with the whole situation with her not wanting to take a shower. You can kind of understand his point of view. He's like, she just seems like she's not willing to bend in that area. And he's thinking, I'm sure he's thinking, don't you care about what your husband thinks? And she just doesn't want to. A lot of these people are so used to being single that they don't know how to change when they're married, or they're not willing to change. So, he goes home for a while, comes back, clears his head. It seems like, the trip home did him some good. I guess like he said, it gave him some time to think and reflect. And I guess he started thinking, well, it's not bad. What do I rather, her not shower or me being single? So I guess he thought, well, I'll just deal with it. And I still think Bao and Johnny are going to pull through. I think they're going to make it. Moving on to Rachel and Jose. I don't think this couple is going to make it. They go to each other. All the couples go see where each other lives and things like that. And what's up with the dogs this week? It's like the dogs took over the show. Bao and Rachel and Jose, she goes to Jose's house, and he's got things set up about the budget or whatever on a big like whiteboard, and she seemed like she didn't like that. She's not all for the budget thing. She'd rather just kind of fill things out and play it by ear. And I guess Jose's more organized, which is a good thing, but you can't make it to where your marriage becomes like a business transaction, to where all the papers and everything have to be filed a certain way, and this has to be. Jose went to Rachel's house, and she had a bunch of pencils and holders, and he was complaining about the pencils, and she had some water bottles by the door, and he said it was like cluttered. I'm like, that's real nitpicky. Dudes don't really normally act like that. I thought that was a bit odd. And I think she's just going to eventually down the road find a problem with all his, military-like strictness. He's very strict, organized, and disciplined, which is always good. Discipline is always good, don't get me wrong. But, she's not used to your way of doing things, so you might want to bring her in and ask her about how she might want to budget. He had everything laid out, savings, this and that. So just bring her in on it, and I think she'd be more comfortable with it, rather than feeling like you already got things planned out without her input. You got to join together with your partner. But might be forgetting things since it's been a couple days since that episode that I saw it. Let's see. Moving on to Gill and Mirla. I was kind of on Myrla's side this week, and I forgot to mention the other week she brought Gill some chocolate chip cookies. She seems like she's kind of softening up, but when she checks out Gill's place and he's got the big dog or whatever, that's a big dog. I thought he had like a puppy. He's got a big dog he calls Hype, and he's like petting him, and she's like, you kissed your dog? And he's like, well, not on the lips, but I'm not getting any kisses from you. So she just looks at him, and he's real close to the dog, and he said he doesn't let the dog in the kitchen or the bedroom or anything like that. But she was saying, dog smell and stuff like that. I like animals as much as the next person, but I think animals belong outside. Sure, you don't let them in the kitchen or whatever, but animals still have a certain smell and things like that. And I could kind of see Myrla's point on this one. And what else happened with Myrla and Gill? Something else happened. They had some conflict. I'm trying to remember what it was, but it was something about what was it? Gill was saying that if he hadn't he told Pastor Cal that if he hadn't had a kiss by, I forget what week or what month, that he would file for divorce. I guess that's a deal breaker. I guess he's a star for affection at this point. And like I said, I kind of think Myrla's a nice person. She just kind of has a wall up and she's used to doing things her way. When Gill went to her house, he noticed all the pictures she had of herself on the wall, various poses and exercising. She's real into fitness and things like that. So he noticed that and commented on it. And he calls her princess. I don't know if she'll get tired of that after a while. But I don't know. They can make it. I don't know if they will. I just know that Myrla is not really a pet person. She's not the most affectionate person in the world. You see her put her hand on him and things like that. But, Gil's just, he's ready to step it up, and she's, taking it super, super slow. You've seen a person in each couple do that on previous seasons where one person's ready to, be intimate and the other person is like, going in slow motion or even reverse. So not much change in that area, but like I said, I can kind of see Myrla's point about not wanting a dog in the house, and she seems like a real clean person, which you got to respect that. So Gill should just be like, what's more important here, the dog or the human being? You got to take the human being over the pet. Sure, you had the pet when you were single, now you're married. Just move them outside. You ain't got to have them in the house. Not that serious. Moving on to Brett and Ryan. Now, I think they're definitely going to make it. Brett has this, she's more the outspoken one in the relationship. Brett is the woman, by the way. Ryan has got this dry sense of humor. And, they're different in a lot of ways, but they like each other's differences. They don't complain about each other's differences. They seem to embrace it. They like having someone out there that's, going to give them, it's not so predictable being with somebody when they have opposite ways. So I think they both appreciate that about each other, So I think out of all the couples, I think, they'll butt heads because she's, like I said, she's more the outspoken one in the marriage. But they seem like they're willing to work through whatever they may go through. They seem focused and ready to be married. So I thought that was great. Now, the strange couple this week was Michaela and Zach. And Zach said he was looking forward to having their first fight, which I thought that was odd, but I know what he meant. He wanted to see how Michaela would respond. And she said she would never run away after an argument. She thought that was abusive. So what did she do? She ran away. The first argument, not even an argument, it's just that Zach left to do something, walk the dog or something, and she panicked and said he didn't return or whatever, started using foul language before Pastor Cal came and talked to him. And she just got really mad that he didn't return. And he's like, She has issues because of what happened to her dad, which I can understand that she would have problems because of that. She has abandonment issues. Her dad didn't abandon her, but, I'll let you watch the show and find out, sad what happened to her dad. But I can see why she would be scared maybe, but it's like Zach said, she shouldn't have been too worried, like thinking he left her forever. He said, my stuff was still in the room. I didn't pack up, and she should know I wasn't gone forever. But I guess she was saying she called. He wasn't returning her calls or texts. So she just had a moment of panic, and she wasn't happy about it. And they started really getting into an argument and things, and he was getting offended the way she was looking at him. Like she didn't believe he was telling the truth. And he's like, I got no reason to lie to you. And Pastor Cal told them to, sit closer to each other. So I don't know about them. It's kind of, Zach seems a little bit harder than I thought he would be. I thought, he was the more emotional one at the beginning, but now he seems to be kind of hardening up. And seems like Michaela is the emotional one, and she takes things way extreme when they happen. Like, you know, maybe in a future episode, Zach leaves the cap off the toothpaste. You know, you never know how she's going to respond to that. You know, is she going to start breaking windows because of that? It's just odd when you see different, when people present themselves one way, and then when a fight happens, you see, oh, they're nothing like they said they were. So that's my take. Hope I'm not forgetting anything. If I am, leave it in the comments and tell me what you thought about last week's episode. So I covered Michaela, Zach, Rachel, Jose, Bao, Johnny, Gill, and Mirla. That's all of them. Like I said, they all went to each other's house, saw how the other one was living. I believe Johnny liked Bao's house. Myrla's house. Oh yeah, that's the thing about Myrla and Gill. When Gill went to Myrla's house, he was talking about all the expensive, you know, Louis Vuitton shoes she had in the closet, and they were talking about how much were they worth. And he was really interested in her spending habits because she's really into name brands, this and that. She likes treating herself. So he was just concerned about all the expensive things she had in her closet, and I thought that was interesting. They're a very fascinating couple. I'm curious to see where they go. Yeah, but like I said, they can make it. We'll see what happens. Jose and Rachel, I just don't. I think he's so strict. I don't know if she's willing to put up with it. Anyway, this is the J. Roos Theory. Make sure you subscribe, like, comment, share. Thank you for watching. Be fearless. See you next week, hopefully.